The next point, our point is pressure due to fluid. First, what is the fluid? The substance which is flow, is known as the fluid. It contains the liquids and gases also. So in the fluid there is a friction between the different layers. So therefore we want to see the pressure due to the fluids. First we see what is the pressure. Pressure is the thrust exerted by the liquid on the per unit area when we say that it is normal or it is in contact. We can draw the figure for it. आपण एक figure काढूया याची. So like as this. This is the liquid which is containing in here, and the pressure is exerted on it, that is the atmospheric pressure. So the pressure, we say that the pressure is equal to force divided by area. It is force nothing but the thrust, which means that the force is nothing but the thrust. Therefore we define as the thrust per unit area is called as the pressure. Its SI unit is the Newton per meter square, and CGS unit is Dalton per centimeter square. 1 Newton, it is equal to 1 Pascal, the another unit for the pressure, that is the Pascal. So 1 Newton, it is equal to 1 Pascal, and 1 atmospheric pressure, there is another unit, that is 1 atmospheric pressure, 1 atm we can write as, that is 1.013 or 13 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. This is the value for 1 atmospheric pressure. And the unit for the dimension is that is L minus 1, M1, T minus 1. These are the dimensions for the pressure. So pressure in homogeneous and static liquid are, we say that they are isotropic. जे होमोजिनियस आणि स्टॅटिक लिक्विड असतं ते आयसोट्रोपिक लिक्विड आहे असं आपण त्याला कन्सिडर करतो. इट इज कन्सिडर्ड लाईक ॲज दिस. नाव वी वॉन्ट टू सी द प्रेशर ड्यू टू लिक्विड कॉलम. Liquid column. I draw a figure in here. This is a one beaker or a pot is there, and a liquid is filled in here. The liquid having the density rho, density is the rho. H is the height of this liquid column. So H is the height for the liquid column, and A is the area of this. A is the area for it. So according to the equation, we can note that this is the pressure in here is the atmospheric pressure, or we write as it is P naught, or PA is the atmospheric pressure at that time. So it is given by the equation pressure is equal to H rho G. This is the equation for the this is the equation for the pressure inside the liquid. And inside the liquid, the pressure at every point is the same, that is P is equal to H rho G. From this equation we can say that the pressure is directly proportional to the height, and it is directly proportional to the density. So as the height, or we say that depth is increases, the pressure is increases. So depth as at the bottom the pressure is larger than the top position. So again we can write the equation for pressure is that is the P0. We know that P naught is the pressure, atmospheric pressure at there. So the total pressure P is equal to P0 plus H rho G. This is the total pressure which is acting on this, and therefore equation of pressure is written as pressure P0 plus Gauss pressure. So this H rho G is called as the Gauss pressure in here. So this can be written, we can write the equation. And we know that if we see what is the effect of height in there, so I can draw the figure for it. We consider that suppose that there are 3 sections of the liquids are there, and if you having the hole is there, you can find out that the liquid is falling like as this. And if you hole in here or at here, then the liquid is falling like as this, and for the bottom the liquid is moving, the liquid is falling. If you having the hole for it, it is falling like as this. So you can see here that as the depth is increases, the pressure on the liquid is increases. So this is the pressure due to the liquid column, and the pressure can be written as like as this equation. If it is inside the liquid, only inside the liquid, it is written as H rho G, and the total pressure on the liquid, that is the total pressure, and the total pressure on the liquid is written as P is equal to P0 plus Gauss pressure, or it is written as P is equal to P naught plus H rho G. These are the equations. Now the hydrostatic paradox. What is the hydrostatic paradox? Hydrostatic paradox is that is if the shape of vessels are different, but the pressures in these vessels are equal, that is the hydrostatic paradox. Again I repeat that the shape of the vessels are different, then there is no effect on the pressure inside the liquid. Thus I can draw the figure for some vessels are there. The first vessel is like as this. This is the first vessel. Suppose that this is the vessel A. Now this is the vessel, we say that this is the second vessel, and the third vessel I can draw in here. This is the third vessel. The liquid is filled in here. Off to the height h. Again the liquid is filled in here with the same height, that is height is h again, and in these vessels again we can fill the liquid to the height h. Again h is the height in here. So all these vessels having the different shape, but the surface area is of same. Area of bottom, we say that area of bottom is A, or we say that it is same for all the vessels. So it is noted that if you measure the pressure in here, the pressure is PA. Suppose that the pressure is in here, if you measure the pressure is again, we say that the pressure is P in here again, here is also P pressure, and if you measure at the bottom the pressure, and the pressure is again P. So if these 3 vessels having the different shapes, but the pressures are equal in 3 vessels, so how it can be resolving of this? So we say that there is no vertical components for these first vessels, so there is only horizontal component, and it can be balanced by this. In the second vessels, this is the resultant, and we can resolve the components is like as this. There is a horizontal component as well as the vertical components. And in the third vessels, we can draw the figure of the resultant, and the resultant is like as this again. So in the second, you can see that there is a vertical components for it, and therefore the weight of that is the extra liquid in it, which is balanced by these vertical components, and the pressure on the bottoms are same as the A or the first. And in the third vessels, you can see the resultant in the downward direction, therefore the vertical components in downward direction, and therefore there is a this liquid having a lower weight, but there is a resultant in the downward direction, the vertical components in downward direction, and therefore we say that the pressure is balanced by this. If having the weight, this is the weight is different in all these vessels. In second vessel, the weight is greater than the first, and it is greater than the third, but you can see that the pressure in all the liquids at the bottoms are same. We are taking another example for the hydrostatic paradox. That is, suppose that these three vessels are like as this. I can draw the figure again. This is the first vessel, this is the second vessel, these are the two vessels. This is suppose A, this is B, and again this is the third vessel, C, having the same area at the bottom, but we feel the equal volume of water, okay, or we say that equal volume of liquid in it. We can feel the equal volume of liquid in it. So if you feel the equal volume of liquid, the figure like as this. So the height in the B is smaller than, this is the height, suppose that H1 is the height in the B, H2 is the height in this second, and H3 is the height in here. You can see that equal volume of liquid is filled in it, and therefore what about the pressure in it? So in this condition, the pressure in C is greater than pressure in A is greater than the pressure in A. So if the equal volume of liquid is filled in it, then we can write as, because the height in C is greater, so therefore we write as pressure in C is greater than pressure in A is greater than, it is pressure is greater than PB. So smaller pressure in B, again the greater pressure in C, like as this. 1 minute. Is that the pressure not only exists on the wall of container or the liquid immersed or the solid immersed in the liquid, but it is also exert in all directions. This is the statement of the Pascal's law. It can be verified like as this. I can draw the figure for it. It is a gas chamber, or we say that container. This is one container, and the pressure gauge are connected to this at every point. So the pressure exists on it, the gas is filled in it, and it can be observed that by the pressure gauge, the pressure at every point in the gas are same. So this is the statement of the Pascal law, that pressure not only exists on the, that is on the wall of container, or that is in the solid, or the liquid on the solid is immersed in the fluid, but it is also exert at every point at the same at every point of the fluid. This is the statement of the Pascal law. And now we are going to the next point, that is mercury barometer. Mercury barometer. The mercury barometer is a very simple device. It contains one vessels which is having a mercury which is filled in it, and a tube like as this, which is again filled by a mercury of suitable height, we say that, and mercury is filled in it like as this. So if to avoid the we say that air in it, so we put a thumb in here, and which is now inverted in it, so it becomes a mercury barometer like as this. In the, this is the, we say that some of the mercury which is coming into the vessels, and the portion which is we can see in here, the pressure is equal to 0 because there is a vacuum, or we say that mercury vapors are there. So there is a vacuum, and therefore we say that pressure is equal to 0 in here, and the pressure exerted on this vessel's mercury, that is equal to atmospheric pressure. And if this is the height h is the height of this, so we can write as the atmospheric pressure is written as PA, or atmospheric pressure is written as H rho g. This is the equation for the atmospheric pressure. So, and we write as again atmospheric pressure at the sea level. In sea level, atmospheric pressure is we say that it is 76 centimeter of mercury, that is Hg we can write as, because there is a 76 centimeter of height in the barometer, so we can write as atmospheric pressure is 76 centimeter of Hg, and the density for mercury we know that it is 13,600 Newton per it is kilogram per meter cube. This is the density of mercury. As you know that the height, then density, and the value of G, you can calculate the atmospheric pressure, and the atmospheric pressure is, we say that it is 1.01 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. This is the value of atmospheric pressure. So it is a very simple device, that is mercury barometer. Now there is another device, that is the open tube manometer. Open tube manometer. So first I can draw the figure for it. So it can consist of one vessels, and the gas or fluid which pressure we can determine is filled in it, and it consists of the U tube like as this. A liquid is filled in here. So the liquid is filled in here. So suppose that the pressure in it is equal to P0. This is the pressure is at PA, and the pressure, it is the pressure in here PA, and we write as pressure in here is the PB. So we can determine the pressure in here. So we know that PA and PB having the same pressure because it is at the same height or at the same horizontal level, the point at the horizontal level. So PA is equal to PB. But the pressure on PA, it is equal to P. Actually, it is the pressure of this gas or the substance which can know, which we want to know the pressure which is filled in it. So how will you calculate the pressure at the point B? So we know that the two forces which is acting on it, that is the pressure P0, the force, we say that suppose that the force it is in here is F1 and the pressure is the force which is in F2. So F1 and F2, the liquid is in equilibrium, F1 is equal to F2. F2 is, again we say that it is the upward force or upthrust. So how it is calculated as the F1 is equal to, F1 is nothing but the P0A, it is the pressure, or we say that it is P0A, plus the height mgh, or sorry, the weight, we say that weight mg in downward direction. So weight of this high liquid column, weight, or we directly write as mg in here, and F2 is the force, that is write as PB, like as this, PB into A. So this equation can be written as it is the P0A plus mass is calculated as volume into density into G into PB into A. Again this volume is calculated as P0A plus we write as area into height into rho into G, it is equal to PB into A. And the equation can be written as, this equation can be written as, if A get cancelled, this P0 minus PB, it is equal to H rho G. This is the difference between the pressure, and you know that PB is equal to PA and PA is equal to P. So P0 minus P is equal to H rho G. From this equation you can calculate the pressure difference in the open tube manometer. So these are the two, we say that the beat which is coming from the Pascal's law. So you can, I hope that you can understand it.